my name is Autumn, and I'm the host of the Lit Life podcast, where I encourage you to live your life autonomously. And we are back. You know what I'm saying? Because I got this little thing going on. You know what I'm saying? That I'm calling Meet Me in the End Zone. I guess it's going to stick. We're just going to leave it at this. And y'all know why I'm here. Do I have to even announce? Do I even have to say exactly why I'm here? I guess since I'm a little bit of a professional, I'm going to go ahead and say it. I am here today to talk mainly about the Ohio State Buckeyes' path to the national championship. You know, do you understand what I'm saying? I mean, because we in that thing. We did it. Okay, but let me calm down because first of all, I want to apologize in advance because I still have a little bit of a cough. It's crazy, like this whole asthma thing turned into a whole upper respiratory infection. Like when I recorded that last video, I was damn near dying. But so I want to apologize for that in advance. And so I know I missed talking about the quarterfinals and because I was going to do a quarterfinals video and then I was going to do the semifinals video, but I was sick. It was just too much going on. I just couldn't get around to it. So I'm going to just put it all in one. It don't matter because we already know who already down here, right? We already know what's cracking. We already know what it is. So let's talk about it. Let's talk about this path because it's kind of like, I don't know why it really does feel like Ohio State versus the world. That's what it feels like. And it could quite possibly just be because of my algorithms on social media, right? Everything seems like it's just kind of like coming down on Ohio State. But so let's talk about the quarterfinals and let's talk about what happened because my bracket, do y'all remember what I said in my bracket? I said that Texas was going to be Arizona State. I mean, I didn't really see how they would. The game was kind of close, but like, I mean, I didn't even really write a whole bunch of stuff down about it because like, I just felt like it was a no-brainer. You know what I'm saying? Like, I felt like it was just one of them things like, because where did Arizona State come from? Which now, let me make sure it's clear. I know everybody is pissed off about how the committee did this bracket. I think that people are just upset that their teams either were not included or got put out because all I'm hearing is a whole lot of excuses. You know what I'm saying? When the fact of the matter is all you got to do is win. No matter what. You understand what I'm saying? That's all you got to do. That's all you got to do is win the game, right? So I'm hearing so many different things. Oh, everybody that had a bye, they lost, or this team shouldn't have played this team. And I mean, it's just been so much bullshit from people who are not in it anymore. And I guess that's part of the game, you know what I'm saying? That's part of what it is. And what you'll hear from a Buckeye fan in most cases, I'm going to just speak for myself. What you'll hear from me is Ohio State has the hardest, the toughest path to the national championship. I've been saying it ever since the bracket dropped. I've been saying this. No other team has had to play the caliber of teams that we've had to play to get to the national championship. Okay. I mean, look at this. Look at it. Look at how this bracket is laid out. Like, it just didn't have to happen. We're the only ones that's really having to knock some folks out. And I felt a little way about it at first because I'm like, damn, they really trying to you know what I'm saying? And then I thought about it like, well, all we got to do is win. At this point in time, the better team is is going to win. Like the best team in that moment, in that frame of time, in those 60 minutes is who's going to win the game. Now, what's going to happen the next round? Who knows? Will they go on and win the next round? Who knows? But what we do know is whoever plays their best football game is the ones that are going to win, which is why teams like Arizona State and SMU and Boise State were able to make an appearance and it be fair. Now, I'm not going to hold you. The one thing that I don't like about it is, and it's the same thing I think that the NFL does too. Like they put the number one seed, the highest seed against the lowest seed. Like, again, yes, all you have to do is win, but sometimes I feel like it's a setup, right? Like I feel like it's just a setup. It's like you know how they give out participation awards, like people just cry so much about like not winning or not being included, not being in the race, so they do this expansion, but they put a team that's way more likely to win against a team that's not so likely to win, unless you have like a Cinderella story like a TCU, or you know what I'm saying, something like that. Which again, TCU just came and played their best game all the way up until they didn't. Right? So, I don't really have any complaints about the bracket outside of, I just think that outside of the people that get the bye, and I guess, I don't know, I guess they should be conference champions, I guess. I don't know. I don't know how to pick that part, but I don't know if they should be conference champions or if it should just go by what the rankings are, right? Like like why wouldn't it have been 1, 2, 3, and 4 at the end of the season who got this? Because do the bowl games, like, I mean, not the bowl games, the conference championship games, like I didn't even think that they counted in the bracket selection process. I thought that was just part of the game, and then they would go by. But anywho, that ain't what they did, which is fine. So let's talk about it. Texas and Arizona State again. I felt like it was a no-brainer, although I want everybody to know, and I'm going to say this again when I get down to the Texas-Ohio State game, that I have been called, and I think I've said it in previous videos, I have been calling Texas bluff day one, season 1, hour 1. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I have been calling their bluff. Like, I just didn't think, like, okay, do I think that they are beefing up? Yes. Like, do I think that they deserved an appearance in the playoffs? Absolutely. Like, they've been playing pretty good football. I just never thought that they were going to beat Ohio State. Like, people, Texas gonna get y'all, da 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 da. If y'all gotta play Texas, man, I don't know what to tell you. Like, I've heard so many things, but I never had a doubt. So, but we're not there yet. So, on the other side, we had Penn State and Boise State. Okay. I picked Penn State to win this game, I think. No, I didn't pick Penn State. I actually picked Boise State. And let me tell you why. I do remember why. Because did y'all hear me when I said Penn State always finds a way to fuck up? So I thought it was just going to be early. Like, I thought it was going to be one of them things against a school that, is kind of up and coming in the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? Like a team we really hadn't heard a whole lot about outside of their exceptional running back. Like it's not one of them teams when you're thinking about national championships, you're not thinking about Boise State. That's no shade, no tea. But I thought they would be the ones to put it on Penn State. I was wrong. I will say I was wrong. I mean, Penn State kind of thumped them. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think they beat them by like 15 or something. Like, they beat them. It ain't really nothing I can say about that. But let me tell you who disappointed me. Kirby Smart and them damn Georgia Bulldogs. Because ain't no way. Now, I said that Georgia was going to go all the way. Y'all know it was just kind of because I kind of just wanted to see them. Y'all know I want to see them again in the same situation. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's really a big part of what was driving my decision with that. But the other part of that decision is, you guys know how I feel about Kirby Smart. Like, I hate him. I hate Georgia. But I totally respect him as a coach because he's a smart coach. Like, he makes very good decisions. It was surprising to me to see him lose this game. And I guess that just kind of speaks to the point that I made earlier in a recording earlier, that I know Georgia doesn't have personnel per se. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know that they does not have like the best like football team overall right now. But Kirby, being the type of coach that he is always able to like win games like this. What was the score? 10-23. I was in shock. I was shocked that Notre Dame beat. And it was because Georgia was an offensive mess during that game. Like, it's like they couldn't get anything going for whatever reason. Then you had that crazy ass that call on the sideline where the young man accidentally bumped into the ref and they called this spot, which again, Georgia fans are like shitting their pants about it, when in all actuality, that wasn't going to help them win the game. If they wouldn't have gotten that penalty, they still would not have won the game. They just wouldn't have. And so what I realized about Notre Dame, because of course, like, I ain't really watched no Notre Dame football. You know what I'm saying? I ain't really checking for them. But as I'm going down a deep dive, what I've realized is for this particular game is that they had a good mix of passing and rushing. Like, it was almost like an equal mix. It was like they know how to use all of their offensive weapons, be it a receiver or a running back. Like, they know how to use, like, it's almost like they had like equal stats on both sides. So, and that's always good because, a lot of teams have solid one or the other, right? They either have a solid running game or they have a solid passing game. And looking at this game, it looks like Notre Dame has a little bit of both. So anywho, Georgia disappointed me. But then, because now is the time for me to be extra, then the Ohio State Buckeyes went on to play the Oregon Ducks, the number one team in the country. A whole lot was said. Was there not a whole lot said? Just because y'all beat Tennessee like that don't mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, y'all got y'all stuff set out for you. And what did I say? I said, just like I felt about the Tennessee game, I felt almost the exact same way about the Oregon game. We're going to win the game, but I don't think it's going to be any type of a blowout. I felt like one score. I felt like by one score, be it a field goal, be it a touchdown, like, I felt like that's how we were going to win the game. Because we know how good that game was the first time we played them. Like, it was a knockdown, drag out. Like, there were no dull moments. Like, it was a good ass game. And that is exactly what I was expecting this time around. As you all know by now, that's not necessarily what we got. I mean, it was a good game for us. It was a good game for the Buckeyes or whatnot. But it was like everybody was surprised, even Buckeye fans, right? First of all, in the first half, it was like an offensive showdown, right? It was like extremely offense driven on the Buckeyes' perspective. Like whatever their defense was doing, it was nothing. It was just, it was so, there was so much. Like Jeremiah, I want to say overall had 7 catches for 187 yards. And then Becca had 5 catches for 72 yards, 1 touchdown. They were really out there doing the most on offense. I mean, it was like they could not be stopped. I don't know. It was like they were charged. It was like they really came out, because let's be real. Ohio State loves to start the game off slow. What we have noticed in the playoffs is that has not been the narrative. They jumped out on Tennessee. They jumped out on Oregon or whatever. And Oregon just couldn't catch up. Like, and in the second half, it was a defensive showdown. It was a defensive showdown. Do y'all know, when I looked at this stat that I'm about to tell y'all right now, y'all know I don't really do stats, but I just figured, I'd throw a couple of them in there. Do y'all know that Ohio State had 8 sacks on Oregon in that game? 8. They sacked 8 times. 8. Is that not a lot? That's a lot for a game. That is a lot. A total of 8 sacks. Defense was on their ass. I mean, but again, I will shout this from the rooftop. The number 1 defense in the country. They did what they were supposed to do, being that they are the number 1 defense in the country. I couldn't, but I thought it was just gonna be a 1 score. Like I thought I can believe it, but I just didn't think that it would be. I thought that Oregon was really going to put up a fight, because why wouldn't they after the first time we played them? Like I don't really want to hear anything about they were on a bye, da 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 da. I don't really want to hear none of that. Like, because that's what the excuse is that's going around. I don't want to hear it. Like, we came in there and got down to business, and that was that on that. Okay? On to the next. So, semifinals. What happened in the semifinals? My bracket was already messed up on the side where Notre Dame and Penn State was. Okay, so it didn't matter. When it came down to Notre Dame and Penn State, what I told everybody around me was, I feel like Penn State is the better team here. Penn State is the better team here. I feel like they only lost to us, like, during the regular season. I'm like, Penn State is the better team here. But watch them find a way to not win this game. And it just goes back to say what I said in the beginning. It's like they always find a way. Like, it just doesn't matter. Like, I can't even really explain it. Like, they just always find a way to get there and then like to almost get there. How did Notre Dame beat Penn State? I'm still a little it's weird. Like, it feels weird to me. I don't know. Like, I don't know. They had an equal amount of total yards, pretty much. Notre Dame had 383 total yards. Penn State had 339. Their passing yards and their rushing yards, like, kind of leveled each other out, right? Because Penn State or Notre Dame had way more passing yards than they did running yards, and it was the other way around for Penn State, which to me meant that it was just like a very equal mix of offense there, right? Like, I mean, they seemed pretty equal to me, right? Like they said, like as a team as a whole, it just seemed like there was nothing that stood out there. Is basically what I'm trying to say. And then the same exact thing with the yards per play. It's almost like they literally both had 5.2 yards per play. It's like these teams were playing each other. That's just how I felt about it. Outside of Penn State not being able to convert on third down, that was a thing. Notre Dame threw 2 interceptions. It don't matter. They still won the game. Time of possession, both was around 30 minutes. I mean, it was like, I felt like they were playing carbon copies of themselves. when I look back at that game, like, and I was watching it, I wasn't paying a whole lot of attention to it until maybe like the end, but I just knew, I'm like, Penn State gonna get in here and they gonna mess around, and that's exactly what they did. But let me tell y'all who didn't mess around. The Ohio State Buckeyes. I'm here to be annoying. I'm here to be as annoying as possible. I do not care. Okay. Going into this here game where Ohio State played the Texas Longhorns. First of all, I don't know why the fans seem like they were afraid. Again, I'm in this algorithm on like Twitter and Instagram now, and it's just like I see so many different like fan comments and all this stuff, and a lot of times it's always like an excuse of something, like, well, if this doesn't happen, it's because of this, and if this doesn't, it's almost like a whole bunch of excuses. And I'm gonna need y'all to start believing in y'all teams a little bit more. And this is not just for Buckeye fans. This is for fans all over. Like, y'all gotta believe in y'all teams a little bit more and stop making excuses, because there's nothing that's going to make me say, oh, if the Buckeyes don't win, it's because they did X, Y, and Z, but it's an excuse that I'm using. No, I'm not doing that. Even when it came down to when we lost to Oregon, you know what I'm saying? Yes, that it is a little saying that, you know what I'm saying, if you gotta run trick plays, that mean that you ain't really trying to, you're not confident in yourself. sometimes I believe that. Sometimes that could be true. However, Oregon won that game fair and square, and it was off of some coaching shit. And that's not to say that Ryan and Chip didn't coach a good game, because they did. It just came down to that last little play, right? That last play that clearly Ohio State coaches didn't know what the hell was going on, but Oregon did. So they won that. There's no excuse that I can make for that. There's no excuse that I can make for us losing to Michigan for the damn 85th year in a row, it seems like. There's zero excuse outside of they coached a terrible game, but that's not an excuse. That's the reason. Like, it is not like no, it's not that. Like, they coached a terrible game. We lost because that day we were not the better team. And I'm cool with that. It is. I'm not cool with it. Like, I really would just like, I would like a do-over. However, it just is what it is. I have to move forward from that. And just like I said in the last video, all right, y'all, it's time to stop talking about that game. Let's move forward. Now, look what we have done. We have knocked off Tennessee, who nobody thought we were going to knock off. We have knocked off Oregon, who nobody thought we were going to knock off, especially the way that we did. And then here we come on down to damn Texas in they shit. What, did y'all watch the game? Did y'all see it? I've been debating whether or not I'm going to release this voice note that I sent to my friends. I sent to my homegirl when the game was over. Maybe I'll stick it in here, maybe I won't. I don't know. But let's talk about how this game went. I I have been saying from day one that we were gonna call their card. I've been saying it. Like I've been saying, I'm like, Texas is not. I just don't think they are who everyone says they are. I also said, just like I said about the Tennessee game, just like I said about the Oregon game, and I was wrong on both. I said we're not going to like blow them out. It's not going to be like, I'm like, it's only going to be, a one score. We'll beat them by one score. It'll be a very good game and we'll beat them by one score. And I was so wrong. I was so wrong. What did Texas do right? What Texas did right was they found a way to shut down number 4. I feel like he had 3 yards. So the thing about that is Ryan Day went in knowing that was their plan. So they were so worried about him and it gave everybody else a chance to feel that shine, to feel that spotlight. But they was calling Travion Henderson. House called Henderson. First of all, Travion. I don't know. Do y'all know what got into Travion when he was like on that penalty? Because let's talk about it. One thing that Ohio State did wrong was shot themselves in every single foot that they have. Like there was we had 75 yards of penalties. Dumb ass penalties too. I don't know what that boy said to Travion, and Travion hit that man in the face mask. I don't know why. I don't know what happened, but you can also see how pumped they were. Like going into halftime, I felt like all Ryan Day needed to tell them was calm down and play football. That's it. I'm like, that's what he needs to tell them, because they were it was ridiculous. It was ridiculous. Is it Kushan? I always say his name wrong, I think. They was like, the commentators was like, oh my God, is he possessed? I mean, he was rocking them boys on them blocks. Rocking them. I mean, but they were so like, if you could just look at them, like, just could not calm down. Like, they were just all over the place. So, and I think that in the locker room, that's probably what he told them. You know what I'm saying? Because they came out, they seemed to be a little bit more relaxed, but they were ready to go. The first half was again all offense. It was like an offensive showdown for Ohio State. In that second half, and it seems like this is a bit of a trend now, and the second half was all defense, because I already know that y'all are hip to the fumble her around the world. Like them four plays, the last 4 plays, well, not the last 4 plays, but Texas, that drive that they got down there, and they was down at the 1 yard line. Okay, let's relive it. They were at the 1 yard line. And no, they were at the 2. I think they were at the 2. And what happened? We get a pass interference in the end zone. Like we're inexperienced or something. Okay. Mind you, this would have been for Texas to tie the game. Okay. They move half a distance to the goal. They run the same play just about. And what happens? Ohio State gets another pass interference call. At this point, I'm cussing at the TV because I'm not understanding what the hell is going on. What is going on over here? Like, we have a game to win. Okay? It was 7 minutes and 2 seconds for all of this to transpire. And y'all are down here fooling around. What is this about? Okay. Then they threw the ball. Let's just say them first 3 downs were a no. Okay. I think by the 3rd down, they were about 7 or 8 yards back from the damn 1 yard line where they started on. Because y'all do know that we had a number one defense in the country, especially when it come down to some red zone action. I don't know what it is about them letting these boys run a little bit here and there, and you know what I'm saying, get these couple of little runs and stuff for these long ass drives. Because for some reason, like, we do that, we let them do that. But when we get down to the red zone, it's like time to take care of business. I don't know what it is. But this is what we do. If the game is going to depend on us defending the red zone, I'm going to need y'all to know that the Buckeyes will win that game. I can't explain it. That's just how it goes. However, Quinn thought he was about to throw the ball. Captain Jack said, let me go ahead and cause this fumble and pick this ball up and run it on back. And that's what he did. And the crowd went wild. And when I tell you, that's when I sent the voicemail to my friend. That was insane. Because I know her ass had turned the game off because she can't watch when the times are tough. And that's fine. Because I'm going to sit there and watch the whole damn game. Whether it's pissed me off or not, I'm going to sit there and watch it. So he runs this back. Texas gets the ball back. And I want to say, like, the second play of the drive, Caleb Downs intercepted. And the game was really over at that point. All of the Buckeye fans that were tweeting as if they were afraid of this Texas team, I don't know why. I just don't know why. And it's documented, okay? Again, I've said this over and over. Like, people who come to my live stream, we listen. At any moment in time on the Tagged app, where I am a top streamer, you can find me, Autumn the Aries, there. I'll have several people in my stream, and we'll start talking about college football and all of the things that I have come here and recorded and said to you guys, I have said 20,000 times in these live streams. Like, they will tell you, she has said it. She said Texas. Who else was it? Who was it? Was it Indiana? Everybody was saying they were saying we should have been afraid of, like, all of this stuff. I'm like, yo, if we see Texas, if we have to see Texas, we're going to beat Texas. It's not going to be easy, but we're going to beat them. And if you really think about it, we jumped out in the first half, and in third quarter, we didn't score at all. So, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, it was like tied for, a hot second or whatever. And then defense took over and started running shit. And so it was kind of tight for a second. But the defense came and did what they were supposed to do. And that's how we won the game. And shout out to DJ My because she said it. She was like, I'm telling y'all going to have two big defensive plays. Like, she just kept saying it over and over. And I'm like, I felt one in my spirit, but I didn't feel two. And we definitely had two. So I'm just so proud of my Buckeyes. You understand what I'm saying? I am so proud that we are where we are. So let's talk about what I feel like is going to happen next Monday on the 20th. First of all, I'm stalking these tickets because I'm really hoping that they come down a little bit so that I can go to the game. I could definitely go ahead and just pay these prices, but I just feel like I can't really justify it. Because when I tell y'all they are like selling these tickets for like quadruple what they were when they bought them, it's insane. Like, nosebleed tickets right now are at like $1,400, and I'm not sitting in the nosebleed for $1,400. I'm not doing it. It's just, that's a no. That's a no for me. I will not. That's just insane. So here's how I feel about it. I feel like people are scared again. I've been seeing the tweets. I've been seeing all the stuff. Don't sleep on Notre Dame. Why would we sleep on Notre Dame? They're in the damn national championship. You know what I'm saying? However they made it, they little cupcake walk. You know what I'm saying? They made it. They made it. You feel me? They did what they had to do to get there. So I'm not feeling as if I'm gonna sleep on them. They're there. I looked at total stats and all that stuff, and again, y'all know I don't really be putting stats and stuff out there like that, but I did. I looked at the total stats and on, especially on like the defensive side, and they're kind of equal. And this is across the whole season. Also, who have they played the whole season in comparison to who we play? You know what I'm saying? And that's, again, I hate saying stuff like that because I don't really want to feel like it's shade, because it's not. It's just the truth. If you're a halfway decent football team, you're going to put numbers up over teams in whatever their little situation, conference, or whatever it is that they got going on over there, non-conference, whatever the hell they got going on. I don't even know half of these teams. You know what I'm saying? And that's no shade, but it is what it is. Okay? Whereas we have had to play Oregon twice. Okay? We've had to play all of these ranked teams, and I'm not saying like our whole damn schedule was stacked with ranked teams, because it wasn't, but we have had to play what you would think would be much harder games than they have. So I don't want to look at total stats, but what I did look at was the games that mattered the most. And that's why I looked at the Georgia Notre Dame game and the Notre Dame Penn State game. Like, I feel like Penn State was the best team that they played, and they barely won that. So I don't really understand what we scared of. Like, why are we already making excuses? Okay, why are we already making excuses? I don't want us to already. I'm hoping that the team is like blocking out all of the bullshit, and I hope that they're just coming in to play this game and win this championship. I think both defenses are going to do well. I don't think that their defense is going to do as well as our defense, but I think that their defense will hold up. For whatever reason, this game, I think Jeremiah gonna get the fuck up. I think Jeremiah about to show his ass, especially since he didn't really have a chance to do it back then. I don't know if Notre Dame is gonna be prepared, or as prepared as Texas was, or have a defensive game plan that they could truly execute against Jeremiah when he out there and when the ball is in anywhere near him. But they may be able to stop our run game just a tad bit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, we have some really good running backs. Like, we have a really good backfield, but our running game has not been like spectacular. I don't know if it's the play calling. I don't know if it's just the inability to for our offensive line to do what they need to do to, you know what I'm saying, like to get these blocks or open these holes. I don't know, but it's going to be so much fun if we do ever get to that stage with the backfield that we have. Them boys are good. Like, they are they are amazing, right? They are always in sync with each other. Like I said, Quishan, I always mess his name up. When he ran down there and got that block, it was like, oh, no, my boy. No, my boy. And this is not the first time he's blocked like that, but he laid that boy out, though. Like, he really did lay his ass out. So I think that will probably be a little bit of a ick for us. And then from what I was looking at, the stuff that I was looking at, their quarterback is not all that great. Now, I'm going to say this right now. I'm going to say this loud and clear. I'm going to need y'all to knock it off about my quarterback right now. Now, I know I done said some shit about Will. I know I called him Kyle McCord Jr. I apologize. Because the difference between him and Kyle McCord is that he can set his mind right to go in and play these big games. Again, we know Will gonna get that one good interception. I don't think he threw an interception in the Oregon game. I don't think he did. But he did in the Texas game. Well, it was like third quarter. It was late because usually it's like first or second quarter, but it was a little bit late this time. But Will has really, and when I call him that, it was during the Michigan game, right? But Will has been so locked in. I mean, I'm not even gonna say like he took a huge turn because I always thought that he was decent, but he took like it's like he got more focused. It's like he understands now exactly what the assignment was. Like he understood the assignment and felt like, he could pass it with a C or a B. But now he understands that he has to get this A plus. Like you see what I'm saying? It was like that type of a turn or a twist when it came to how he has shaped up through these playoffs. Like, to me, he's gotten better since they played Tennessee. He got better at Oregon, and he got even better at Texas. Like, I just feel like he's really showing us, y'all not too much on me. And I'm standing 10 toes with him. Like, not too much on Will. Like, Will is really doing some shit. However, when I was reading about Notre Dame's quarterback, what's his name? Riley Leonard. He doesn't have like the best arm. Like, he makes mistakes, and I feel like I saw that when I watched a part of the what was it, the Georgia game, maybe. Might have been the Georgia game. So, or the Penn State game, one or the other or both. What they're going to have to do, and I said this already, they're going to have to shut down Jeremiah. And I'm just not sure that they're going to be able to do this. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Because I think, again, you know how when these players get shut out for a game, you know how they be coming back. And I think that he's just going to come back, and he's going to come back on fire. I don't know exactly what the score is going to be, y'all, but I do feel like it's going to be a good game. Again, I'm going to say, I feel like it's going to be decided by one score. I think we're favored by like 10 or something like that. I honestly think it'll be like by 7. I don't think it's going to come down to like the very last second, although it might if it's that close, but I think it's going to be a good game. I think it's going to be great for viewing. And I think that you guys are going to see a national championship won by the Ohio State Buckeyes. The only way that this does not happen is we don't coach it well. We know what happens. We know what happens when our coaching is off. We know what happens. There's like no comeback during the game. Like, it's like they can't even switch it up and start doing something different, and we come back. And we've seen it. We've seen the really bad parts of coaching issues, because I think the players are ready. They're ready. They're amped. I need them to calm the fuck down. I need them to leave all them fucking penalties, all that bullshit, them 75 yards worth of penalties, which majority were like personal fouls and just all types of craziness, a bunch of holding. Like, it was just so much going on that didn't even make good sense for this caliber of a team. So I am hoping and praying that they leave that left that at AT&T Stadium, because we don't need none of that coming in down here to the Benz. We don't need none of it, okay? I think after the national championship, I think the next episode, I'm going to try to just go ahead and get the nerve up to just go live, to just do this live. So we'll see how that goes. But I'm excited, y'all. I'm out of here. You know what I'm saying? Until the next time. I didn't really expect for this to go this long, but until y'all hear me or see me again, go